and I live in a van down by the river.
Hey guys, welcome back to RBB. Today we're going to be going further down the PSA Dagger Micro rabbit hole, but I wanted to start by pointing out that I do read the comments and was actually corrected by someone who clarified that the Palmetto State Armory model that we're going to be talking about is actually called the Dagger Micro. So thank you for that. And from here on out, I'm just going to refer to it as the PSA Micro or just the Micro because I think we all know what I'm talking about. So on with the show.
Before we get started, I wanted to take a second and brag about the stipple job that was put on my PSA Micro frame by Jeremy over at warriorsolutions.com. I had asked him for a simple texture on the front and rear straps to make it a little more aggressive. He didn't disappoint. Apart from hand stippling, Warrior Solution also has laser stippling capability. If you get a chance, check them out. So in this episode, we are going to discuss and test the interchangeability between the Glock 43X and the PSA Micro. Now, why would somebody even want to do this? There are a couple of reasons I could think of. Say you own a Glock 43X and you are trying to put a homemade stipple job on the frame, and in doing so, you destroy it beyond repair. Now, needing a new frame assembly, you see that a fully equipped PSA Micro frame assembly is well under $100. So you want to get one. But is this a viable option? Another example may be that you own a Glock 43X but didn't buy the MOS version and yet now really want to get a red dot sight. Well, then you look at the PSA Micro with the shield cut and see that the full slide assembly is cheaper than getting your existing Glock slide milled into to put a red dot sight on. Or what if you have a Glock 48 for concealed carry and are shooting some super spicy defense ammo and are wondering if the PSA Micro C1 slide with the ported comp can ease some of the excess recoil? All of these are reasons why you might start to mix and match different parts. So if you are going down the road of building your own lightsaber, first you have to accept that what you're creating is a parts gun. There's nothing wrong with that per se, just that doing so comes with a priority system, and that system is pretty straightforward. Reliability, efficiency, precision. And with the PSA Micro components, we are looking for both reliability and efficiency at a cost savings, because we already know we can spend more on the massive amount of aftermarket parts already out there. So let's take a look at the first parts gun. Glock 43X frame assembly and the PSA Micro slide assembly. Here, it is key to point out that my 43X assembly is already a collection of aftermarket parts, such as the Shield Arms magazine and catch, as well as an Agency Arms flat trigger assembly. And even though these parts function reliably with the Glock 43X slide, there is no guarantee that they will play well with the stock PSA Micro slide assembly. While out at the range, there were some feeding issues with this setup. I had several stoppages over the course of the first 35 rounds. There were a couple of places where the problems may lie, but this was just an initial test of the concept. Next up was the PSA Micro C1 slide and the Glock 43X frame. Keeping in mind that I was using the third generation Shield Arms mags, the feeding was similar. I did have a few feeding issues in this case as well. When I transitioned to the Micro frame and the Glock 43X slide, I used both the PSA magazine as well as OEM Glock mags. This setup functioned without failure. Overall, my initial assessment was that a slide and frame mix and match between Glock and PSA Micro was doable. But the devil will be in the details, or in this case, individual parts. And that's where this is leading to. As I start to build the PSA Micro into a reliable self-defense gun, we will be discussing individual parts, and this is something that really can't be done on the YouTube platform. However, I will be making content on this very subject on my Patreon page. You are welcome to follow us there, and keep in mind that the first 7 days of membership are free. So come check us out. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you right here next time on Ranges, Backstops, and Berms.